to kill a person just because he did not pay you and it's not so clear that he has to pay you. Or even if he pays you, okay, someone did not pay your salary, you don't shoot him. You don't shoot him. So why David was so upset? Why he went to kill this person? The answer is that we have to understand what Naval told these people. As I told you, the people who came with David were people who went with David because they had no other choice, and I'll tell you why. They were Marei Nefesh. Marei Nefesh are people who have no money, and they don't know what to do with their life. They have family, they don't know what to do with them, they cannot support them. And in agraric society as they had, if you had no money, you had no money to buy seeds. And what happens if you cannot return your debt? Well, today they will take your house, your car, whatever it is. You know what was it in the old days? In Sefer Melachim there is a very painful story about a woman who came to Eliyahu. Her husband died. She apparently ran into debt. She could not pay it. And she says to Eliyahu, Hinei ba Noshe, the creditor come to my house to take me and my children le'avadim. You have no money, no car, no house. I'm going to sell you as Eved. This is the only property I still have. And this creates a society of Adonim, people who have the money and have the ability to live life of freedom, and people who are destined to lose their freedom. And Caleb said in one sentence, Ayom rabu avadim amitpartzim ish mipnei adonav. You, David, break society, because society is adonim ve'avadim. You allow these people to come with you, these people who don't pay their debts, you break society. I'm not going to cooperate with a person who break all the rules of society and hierarchy of society. In a way, this philosophy is a philosophy of whom? Of Amalek. Don't think for 1 second that there are Amalekim and we, the chosen people, we don't have people like this. We might have nice Jews who think like Amalekim. What the Amalekim did? And we explained it a few times. People are just property. People, I took you to, I captured you, I sell you, I make a few bucks, and that's it. I'm going to the next war to get the other people. That's why the Torah is so much against Amalek. I explained it many, many times. And this is so important. The Torah does not conduct a war like eternal war just against anti-Semites. Anti-Semites, unfortunately, we had that enough throughout history. But people who don't understand that a person, a human being, is a free person, this was the whole revolution of Yetziat Mitzrayim. There are no slaves anymore. People are free in nature. And even if you have an Eved, after 7 years, you free him, you treat him properly. The Amalekim went against all revolution, that people are Tzelem Elokim, are not people who are destined to slavery. But unfortunately, this philosophy of the Amalekites was also penetrating the hearts of some Jewish people. There is Avadim. Because I'm the Adon, I am allowed to take their freedom. And if they don't pay their debts, I'm going to sell their children. And you know what the Torah says about these people? I'll tell you, and you will tell me immediately how it linked to our Parsha. This story of David. The Torah is talking about people who took a loan and the year of Shemitah is coming. What happened according to the Torah in the year of Shemitah? All dates are over. Moratorium. This is like a name the Torah gave, like every 7 years, the Torah reset the button. It's a little bit unfair. People owe money. But you have to understand, the Torah knew that it will cause a small tragedy to a person who might lose his money, but to save us as a nation from a much greater tragedy of people who are masters and people who are slaves forever. Something that will tear up families from each other. And therefore the Torah said that Shana of Shemitah is a year of reset of society. Land is going back, which is a source of wealth. People cannot stay as avadim with their masters because the Torah doesn't want to see a nation like this. And the Torah said, V'chi yiyeh im levavcha bli'al. If you think that you are going to lose your money, I promise you that I'm going to send my bracha to you. Don't worry about it. What is the word? What is the word of the Torah? Ki yiyeh im levavcha bli'al. The word bli'al, which appears by naval, but by the people who don't want to share the wealth they got from the war with Amalek, these are all anshe bli'al. People who don't understand that the Torah created something magnificent, a free society. Not society that based on slaves, which was, by the way, the flavor of not the months, of millennia in the entire world. Who changed it? It all inspired by our Torah. And when David hears the words of Naval, he said, well, the Torah conducted the war against Amalek. But you know what? This person is talking like Amaleki. What kind of words are these? We cannot have people like this. And you know what? It might be that Naval learned this idea from the people that he was neighbor of. Who was the neighbor of Naval? People like Amalek. How do we know it? From our parak. Because remember what happened here. The people, the Amalekim, went to, I'll tell you, we got the information from the Nav. He says, אנחנו פשטנו נגב העמלקי נגב כלב, where is the pasuk? I'm sorry, 1 second. It says that נגב העמלקי, נגב כלב. What is נגב כלב? The part that Kalev from the tribe of Yehuda got, and remember who was Naval. Naval was ואיש במעון ומעשהו בכרמל והאיש קשה והוא כליבי. What is והוא כליבי? He came from the family of Kalev. Kalev ben Yefuneh. So, who were the people that he had to deal with? These Amalekim that always traveled between Mitzrayim and the Jordan and maybe up to Iran. And he got the same hashkafa. The same hashkafat olam. People are just property. And David is going to kill him. David come with exactly the opposite idea. My job as a king is to protect the people who are vulnerable. He did it with the 400 that joined him. He did it with the Nar Amaleki. Every part of this story is telling us why David became the king, because he really took care over the vulnerable sides of society. Unlike Shaul that created this kind of masters and slaves, maybe unknowingly, but this was the situation. A person who is obsessed with oppress and depress the person who is weak like David. David, in the worst moments, think about these people. He sees them as his brothers. He's fighting for them. He's sharing with them. He's educating them. This is going to be a great leader. And it's not a wonder that Chazal are telling us many, many stories, and actually the Torah itself, that Moshe did not become a leader before he took care over the vulnerable people. The person who was hit by the Egyptian, the person who was apparently stronger than the other one and tried to hit him, the daughters of Tzlofchad. It's not just nice stories. You cannot be a leader if you don't feel for the people who are weaker and vulnerable. I'm going to keep for next week a very surprising aspect that I didn't see before. I just saw it when I prepared this year, as I said. But I'm going to take all Sefer Bereshit, Sefer Shmot, Shmuel, Divrei Hayamim, and to make them one unit. And in 2 weeks, B'ezrat Hashem, we are going to finish the last perek of Sefer Shmuel, unless I will find something interesting else. But I just want to summarize what we saw today. So, what we saw today is the uniqueness of David. My main claim in the second part of the shir is that actually the story of Naval HaKarmeli and the wife of Naval HaKarmeli, Abigail, that I'm going to discuss more next week, is actually shows us the difference between people like Naval HaKarmeli and people like David. A completely different philosophy about the role of a king. It's not about authority. The authority has to be translated immediately for sharing and caring. And next week, I'm going to show how the entire Tanakh is actually built upon this idea, and how David is completely tied to the story of Abraham that we started to see. Because remember, basically the story of Abraham running to get back Lot is very, very similar to the story here. That David going to get back his family. Very, very similar. But what is surprising is to see how the stories are completely connected. It's not only similarity, they are actually have symbiotic relations between them. They are actually feeding on each other and explain each other. So this I'm going to keep for next week. Thank you very much for listening, and have a wonderful week.
Okay. I have to go online. That's good.